Hello, and it's Daniel Perez and from Central Coast Kenpo Karate. We are back for part 2, leaping crane for the advanced students. And this is something I would have worked for students that are obviously in the blue belt stage and higher. So last video, we worked on just teaching the beginner how to properly parry with the X and come up here with the X at the same time. So being able to parry, loop, kick, drop, elbow. Okay, so we have all these different things. So nice about this lifting back fist reverses right back to the kidney shot. So once I hit my 45 with my parry, see how the here, bam, I can come down with that back fist and then from there fold into the head. So being able now to work the back fist a little bit, we can take obviously some bag drills and do the back fist after the kick. So you can have someone do the knife edge kick and then go right into working the back fist as a bag drill. So just teaching the person after you kick here, bam, you come down with the momentum and the rotation of the back fist and then the folding elbow to the head. So obviously there's plenty of drills you can think of on that. I don't have too many different variations to teach the back fist. Simple thing would just be bag hitting. Just have someone hold the bag here and they come down with some momentum and strike the bag. Well, I actually want to see if we can family group a little bit with the gathering clouds effect. So gathering clouds starts exactly like leaping crane but without the hop. And we teach it as a shuffle punch rather than a step through punch. So the drill between those could be someone stepping through or someone just shuffling and with the punch, right? So being able to get our hands engaged already, so having this right here, which is this parry and middle knuckle fist, we now go into the hand sword, which it was our back fist in our previous level in blue belt. We're being taught to utilize the hand sword to check the hip. We still have our elbow, and instead we end with a new basic that's being taught there, which is the eye hook into the scoop kick. So, but the timing of being able to utilize these 1, 2, the ricochet, that idea to bounce right off the body into the next shot is a big crucial thing. Now, obviously, it might feel like you're kind of slapping yourself, but it's really a timing reference to get good on being able to spring the hand and ricochet right off the first shot. So once I hit the body here, and then I'm going to go right into this strike towards the hip. So that way I can check their height, which is their knee, and then from there, slamming the elbow right into the rib, okay? Being able to put the backup mass in there. So one thing I would do is, again, is have the student work on being able to see the difference between a step through and being able to figure out just a shuffle, okay? So we're gonna go into a little bit of body time. Okay, and we're back. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some props we can use. Now if you have a fun noodle, you can use a fun noodle for this if you like. You can also use a bag, but for now I'm just going to use her arm as a reference for checking. That way I can work on the hand sword elbow ricochet, right? So when I hit here, I want the student to get good on being able to go through here, but getting that chop down, that's ricochet. So basically, if I took this arm out and I just went 1, 2, just being able to, again, to go from right to chop, from right to chop. Now, on this case, I'm missing purposely with the knuckle fist just to get the chop into place. So if I was going 1, 2, just taking, again, this from this angle here to this angle here, and then to the elbow, drive in. So you can isolate the right arm here. So I can use her arm as a reference. I'm not going to check it. I'm just basically, again, going to have the student go up, chop down, step in, elbow. Okay? And I'm going to do that one more time so they can get the timing. So it's a shift. Okay? So then you put in the hands. So now I'll basically have them slow it down and get this from leaping crane. So one good drill could be, once I right there, the bag person's gonna come in. So once I go here, she comes in for that shot. That lets me know, okay, now I can time the hand sword if the body starts to come in. 1, 2, 3, and then we have the elbow. Okay? Then we can actually be able to apply the attack. So you have 1, 2, and then you have that. Okay? So you can come in and shoot it. So it just depends on how you do it. We have different ways of being able to get that shot in and applying the timing of it. You have leaping crane, shuffle, you have gathering clouds. So now they have to pick the difference. They're only going to go up to the first strike. So now you're going to pick what you want. Leaping crane. And then here's that, okay? Gathering clouds. So that's the other drill you can do. You can apply being able to have the student adapt if the foot comes forward. Here. Now, the check is obviously for a knee, so you could throw the knee strike and have the student create a more live hand sword. Because what tends to happen is that they're used to just this, and there's no knee or kick attempt. As we all know, there's going to be a kick followed with a hand strike. So with that being said, if she threw the shuffle punch and threw the knee rapidly, that's going to train my mind, or the student's mind, to right away shoot the hand sword for the check. Okay, so you have the check. So it's going to be the punch, and then there's that knee. Right into that check here, okay? So that's what we want to be able to get them good at. What we tend to not be able to focus on is so much, they tend to want to rush it to the next strike, which is like the elbow and finish. So we've got to teach the student not to always be in a pattern thinking, but to understand why each movement is placed there. And it makes it fun for them, because now they can go like, oh, cool. It makes the hand sword to the hip much more intriguing than just going through it like if it's just a normal basic or motion or type of stance or a new strike. It's actually being able to teach them how to check. When they start to get the timing and they start to feel good about that, it's a lot of fun, especially for young students, for children. You can have the hip, you can have the bag here, and they can hand sword, obviously. I would go over elbow drive, making sure they have a good elbow shot into the ribs. Just place it here. When the knee comes up, they're gonna rake, and then they're gonna time the chop. So we'll go rake, chop. So as you see, my leg comes up. So we'll go to rake. When she sees that, she can drive in. Now we're gonna rake, chop. She sticks and then drives steps in. Drives the elbow right in the ribs. Okay? So we'll go rake, chop, stick. Okay? Alright, so do the rake, chop in the air. And then I'm going to hold it so she can get a strong elbow. So now we'll go air and focus just on the elbow. So air, chop, and go. Good. She's going to drive in hard. Okay. Alright, so that's the idea of being able to show the elbow a little more on the technique. So it teaches them how to drive the whole body mass and sink the weight into the elbow. So, like I said, once we do this rake, chop, we sink our body right into the drop of the elbow. Okay, so now the family grouping we can do drills with on this is leaping crane. We can take gathering clouds, circling destruction, and reversing mace. So they all start with a parry. For lower belts, so this would be a good lower belt technique to do. So if I was going to do leaping crane this way, I'm going to now have to be taught to do my reversing mace or circling destruction here. So it's going to give the student other 4 different ways and patterns to deal with a right step through punch or a shuffle punch. If you want to put in dance and deaths, you can also apply that. And that gets the student extremely good on being spontaneous. So let me borrow you again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we take, let's switch. If we take the right step through, and on this point, because the camera is going to show like a mirror side, so it might look like, on your point of view guys, it might look like she's doing a left step through. But it's just because of the way the camera is doing. But she's going to throw the right step through. And I have leaping crane or reversing mace. Which I could step back and do my kick, or circling instruction, which is this. Okay? So I can take all my techniques and do that. So I'll do it one more time. So do it with this side.
Yes, sir.
So she can step in. We have leaping crane.
Yeah.
Okay? We have reversing
Yeah.
or circling destruction. Either one works. You can just have them step back and do it, or you can have them step forward and do it. So reversing mace can be done either way. So if she does it, I can step back and drop this into the body. Or she can come in, and step in and drop that into the body. Okay? So you can take reversing, you can take gathering. Now, if she does a shuffle punch, I have my gathering clouds here. Okay? Or I got my dance of death here. Okay? So, and if you look at it, dance of death has the elbow, gathering clouds has the chop and elbow. So it's a pattern of them being the basic wise are very similar to each other. So we can let the lower belts, or even this can be all the way up to black belts, is seeing the family grouping within the order of strikes and motion. So if I was doing leaping crane, I have rake coming up, I have the kick, back knuckle, elbow. So I have a back fist elbow here, right? Let's look at the relationship between, obviously, gathering clouds. So I have my rake, I have my hand sword, and I got my elbow. My hand sword is like my back fist, the same motion, 1, 2, elbow, stepping in, and leaping crane has the back fist to elbow. So it's just basically, it's the same thing. It comes from point of origin of this diagonal plane. So if we're diagonally dropping in a height zone situation, or even rotation, we're going to learn how to utilize these different strikes and how teach the student to be creative and being able to adapt. So if again, I can come up, we have our leap, kick, back fist, elbow. We have our rake, hand sword, again diagonal, no kick, but an elbow. So we're taking out the kick in this. If we did dance of death, we have our hand sword to our elbow. Now we have our hand sword, then our elbow, all right? And as we know, some of us do dance of death, almost like a parry, but more of an inward block simultaneously together with this reverse hand sword. So they can see how it goes together, along with doing the reversing mace. It's going to teach them just how to patternize the attack. So they're all right step through attacks or right shuffle attacks, but it's going to teach them how to develop a mind of being spontaneous. So I would definitely incorporate that into training. So we have those techniques you can all put together. So again, we can family group leaping crane. We can put in gathering clouds, reversing mace, circling destruction, and dance of death. Those 5 are all in a way a family group based on attacks, and family grouping was the basics in order with motion. So again, we have our rake to our chop, rake to our back fist, and after that shot, it's the elbow, right? If we did dance of death, we have our hand sword to our elbow. So we're not raking. Instead of raking, we're sword and going into our elbow, okay? So I hope this gives you guys just some drills to play with, take to your students. Instructors or black belts, have fun working these. Maybe it opens up some more techniques you guys can think of applying and adding this to the drills concept. But today I took this more as family grouping along with some of the basic isolation. And hopefully you guys got something out of it. So please like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we look forward to more future content in the future. And thank you again for all the support. We appreciate it. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Click on the bell and subscribe to the YouTube channel.